Turn the key before I make the mistake, before I lead with the worst of me. Give them no reason to stare, no slipping up if you slip away. So I got nothing to share, no, I got nothing to say. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned. On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? We start with stars in our eyes. We start believing that we belong, but every sun doesn't rise, and no one tells you where you went wrong. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned. On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass, waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? It's like I never made a sound. Did I ever make a sound? On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass, waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? Is anybody waving?
Well, good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast and the Midwest, and good morning to those of you on the West Coast. I'm Julie Nemitz. I'm thankful that you're here. I'm thankful that you're watching, whether you're watching this on a replay or you're watching this live. Welcome. I haven't been live in so long. This is fun. Well, first of all, while we're waiting for some folks to come in, please let me know if you're here in the chat. Say hi. Let me know who you are and what theater you're from. Theater. That's what we're here to talk about. That's what I always talk about. Well, before we get started, I have to show you something. So if you're looking for a gift for a graduating theater major, be it college or be it high school, I found the coolest thing on Etsy. There's a store on Etsy called Handtone. I'm going to actually show it up here. And I don't get paid for this, guys, but I bought these for so many kids. These are Pantone renderings of certain, Pantones are the colors in our graphic design universe, and they're actually based on certain musicals. This one's a Stephen Sondheim, and this one is Sugar Butter Flower from Waitress. Aren't these so cool? I had them framed, and there's like 15 or 20 of them, everything from Hamilton to Rodgers and Hammerstein. Anyway, I highly recommend you check them out if you're looking for a gift, or if you've got a really bare wall in your office or at your theater. Think about checking it out. They're really affordable, and they're super cool, and they're really unique, right? I'm kind of bored of seeing, show posters all the time, and this really was something super cool and neat. All right. Well, we are here today, and I'm so excited to be talking about one of my favorite topics. And yes, that's content. Today's marketing mastery, I do try to hold these each month. This is a very special one because, as I promised, we're going to be doing a lot of things. We're going to be talking about content best practices. And when I'm talking about content, I'm meaning all of the content that we need to be building as theater makers to make sure that we're selling more tickets and growing the engagement and loyalty of our audiences. And we do that through our content, right? The second thing we're going to talk about is some new opportunities inside of the Theater Marketing Lab that I'm so excited about. And the third thing is, yes, there will be free resources coming your way. I know that as theater makers, our resources and our budgeting is tight. And so it's always been important to me to be sure that there are resources and ways for you to improve your theater marketing that don't cost you money. And that brings me to why this week is so special to me. Because this week, 7 years ago, I had the idea for the Theater Marketing Lab. My husband and daughters and I were headed to see, it was the second weekend of a show in town, and we were really excited to see it. We were running a little bit late, so we got in just as the lights were dimming. We grabbed our program, we sat down, and I looked around, and the theater was barely half full. Now, this was a show that had a large cast, had a pretty good word of mouth. I mean, I had heard from friends that had gone on opening weekend that it was really good and you should go. So here we were sitting on the second weekend and the audience was half full. And I started thinking to myself, marketing, I think we might have a problem here. And I started to think about, how can I use my skills to help this industry that I love and adore? We're going to talk about it in a minute, how much I love and adore it. But I thought about how can I do that? And that's when the Theater Marketing Lab was born. So here we are 7 years later, 5 years later after me actually launching it. And I'm here today to talk about my favorite topic. My literally favorite topic is the content we make to grow our audiences. All right, so I've got a bit of a presentation for you, slides, if you will, right, that you're going to just love seeing. I hope you can see this now. La 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 la. Let me get rid of that. And let's go to our slides. There we are. So I'm just going to double check that everyone can see that. Good. I'm in the corner just for fun, right? So thanks again for being here. We're gonna dive in right now and let's get to it. Okay. Yes, this screen says it all, doesn't it? When we're talking about the content we're making, it is everything from social media to our website, to our email, to entertainment platforms like YouTube and TikTok. Everything that we're making has a reason and a purpose. And what you're going to learn today is all about the content we should be making and how to make it easier on ourselves to keep up with the expectations of content marketing, and also how to make it easier on ourselves. So what's going on, right? What is going on with content, be it on social media, be it in email? There's so many different things happening. If you've been with me at all for even the last several months, you know I say this often. Nothing changes faster than marketing best practices. And that is why it's so important to not get comfortable with the same old, same old. I do hear this often from a lot of people thinking, oh, well, it worked for me before. I'll just keep doing the same thing. That's not how marketing works, unfortunately. We have to constantly be on top of best practices and what is working right now. And what's going on right now is that the social contract that theaters, especially community theaters, have enjoyed for decades upon decades, took a beating due to the pandemic pause. The social contract, for those of you that don't know what it is, the social contract is something that exists between audiences, theater goers, and theater organizations. There was an unsaid agreement for many theaters that if you did a show, people would come see the show out of obligation, out of the wanting to support your theater, and also the fact that they perhaps maybe knew someone in the show, a cast member, a crew member, a production team member, and they felt it necessary to go and support. Well, due to the pandemic pause, the entire country's permissions changed. And you probably saw this at your theater. There was no longer that unwritten contract that you would go see everything or any show. People became much more discerning, and people became much more tied to, yes, you guessed it, the couch, right? We have so many options to entertain us now. We have so many ways to feel engaged and in part of community now in ways that we did not in 2019. So let's fast forward to 2023. That social contract has been damaged. We no longer can rely on people coming to see whatever we want to do. We no longer can rely on the fact that our cast members will bring in dozens and dozens of people, their neighbors, their family, their friends, their coworkers. It's harder now because of the permissions that we as human beings have to make decisions about what we want to do with our free time. Another example is the barriers to visitation. We asked theaters, this is Colleen Dillon Schneider, who's one of my favorite research analysts in the arts business. She has a group called Impact, and they did a survey, and they found that when they asked the simple question, why haven't you visited within the past 2 years? The number one answer was preferred an alternative leisure activity. Right? Performance-based answers. So there were other things happening that made them not go back. There's also the tremendous change in total population, right? We are looking at consequences of people aging out of our audiences, right? We have to think about how are we marketing, how are we connecting and communicating with people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. I always say the sweet spot that we're always focused on is 35 to 55. What are we doing for people that are 35 to 55? How are we growing our audiences? We won't survive as institutions if we're not thinking about them. And Seth Godin is one of my favorite marketers. I believe in so much of what he says because he believes that marketing is built on community. Marketing is built on connection. And that's what we do. People do not buy goods. They don't buy services. They don't buy plays. They buy the relations. They buy the stories, and they buy magic. And guess what? You are in the magic making business. There is nothing more magical than sitting in an auditorium, whether it is a 100-seat black box or a 3,000-seat theater, connecting to a piece of work on the stage live with other people is magic. I believe that. That's why I do this every day. I'm Julie Nemitz. For those of you that are new here, that don't know me, or wandered in somewhere from somewhere, I don't know, I'm so glad that you're here again. I'm Julie Nemitz. I am the founder of Theatre Marketing Lab. I am also the host of the podcast In the Green Room, Theatre Marketing Podcast. If you are not listening to the podcast and you enjoy podcasts, check it out on Spotify, Instagram, Amazon, and any platform you listen, you're going to find me. If you're not a podcast listener, I encourage you to be one. It's a fantastic way to learn while you're perhaps doing other things, or just to sit down and get some free marketing advice from me and from my guests. One of my favorite things to do is to interview theater makers and find out what they're doing and what they're doing right and what they're learning about the business of theater. For 15 years in New York City, I lived with my husband and my kiddos, and I worked in the advertising and marketing business. These are some of the brands that I partnered with throughout my career to really learn and understand how for-profit digital marketing can impact not only e-commerce, but also the content we consume online. And I loved it. It was very exciting traveling all over the country, representing these brands, making innovations in content, won a few awards along the way for the video content that I developed and strategized against. And I also come from a theater background. That's why, remember that story I told about going to the show and seeing it half full? I come from a theater family, 4 generations, as a matter of fact. The picture in the middle is my mom. She and my dad met doing theater. This is a picture of how to succeed in business without really trying at the Kalamazoo Civic Theater, which was my home away from home as a child. I married an actor, of course, and my kiddos are in theater, so we live and breathe theater. I consider the Farmers Alley Theater, which you see in the top corner, as my home theater. That's where I enjoy participating, working, performing, and writing there. So it's a beautiful world, and I'm so glad that my experience in the for-profit world has brought this experience to the nonprofit world, helping theaters sell more tickets and build the loyalty of your audiences. I've got a lot of clients. I work one-on-one with many of them. As a consultant, I love rolling up my sleeves, getting in there and fixing what's not working. I have a program called Sell the Show. I've got 65 theaters right now in the beta, and we are learning how to build digital marketing campaigns from A to Z. The very best skills that you can learn to make sure that your digital marketing strategies are built to sell more tickets. Right? It's a blast. I'm having so much fun there. And if you are a Sell the Show program member, hello. You might see some of your work in here today. Anyway, let's move on, okay? Like I said, I do, and I teach arts organizations how to do this, how to do marketing. And you know this to be true. Theaters are uniquely positioned to be storytellers, mission-based marketers, market drivers. You can be a theater that is helping your community understand what is good and what is to be seen, what is new to be experienced. You are community growers. Remember what I said earlier about the community and connection being something that we lost a lot of during COVID, but we found new ways to find community and find connection. Theaters are community growers. We can be market driven. right? We can be doing the very best titles that our audiences are clamoring to see. We are thought leaders. We are making decisions with our marketing that puts us at the forefront of our community, right? And yes, I will have to say it again, we are magic makers. It is the job of marketing to take audiences on the journey of your production. Isn't that interesting? I bet if I ask that question to some people, they might have a very different answer. What is the job of marketing? Selling more tickets, absolutely. But marketing content is all about taking the audiences on the journey of your production by building community, building word of mouth. Yes, probably inserting a little bit of FOMO being fear of missing out. And lastly, engagement. How are we connecting with the people that are connecting with our content? So I want to give you a Cliff Notes version of how content is working right now. Okay. How is this thing working anyway, right? For some of you, it seems still a little bit unclear how digital marketing and how content seems to be working online, because the way content success works has changed. Nothing changes faster, right? On the left, you see a bunch of little, I call them spiders. Think about this as like an algorithm, right? An algorithm is what's built into all of our platforms on the internet, our websites, our email platforms, our social media. This algorithm is making decisions about what you see and what you connect with. In the center, you can see an interesting drawing of a brain, because what happens is that this algorithm is feeding the dopamine in your brain to get you excited and engaged in the content you are seeing. So think about it. If you're scrolling along Instagram and you see a post from let's just pick, I'm in Tony Awards mode. So let's say you just you see something in your feed from the new musical Shucked. And I'm going to do a whole class about their marketing. But you see that and you get a little bit excited. You're like, oh, that show that I really can't figure out what it's about yet, but I really like the content. Dopamine just went off in your brain, right? And you spent more time on that ad. You spent more time on that ad or on that post. Guess what? The algorithm knows that. And they're like, oh, look, you spent more time on that post. That must mean that you probably like it. If you clicked it, oh my goodness, the algorithm's going to be like, they clicked, right? The algorithm is constantly getting to know you and what you want. And the gasoline tank is your content. If you don't have any gasoline, if your theater is not making gasoline, you're not getting dopamine from your viewers, and you're not feeding the algorithm. Social media specifically used to be all about how many people's following me, how many people are following my page, how many people are doing this, how many people are engaging, right? It's not for that. It's not about that anymore. It's about the content you are creating, because Facebook last year changed its algorithm to mirror TikTok's, because TikTok went crazy with new subscribers and time spent on the app. Facebook realized that their old model of only showing you things that you follow in your feed was not serving you and not serving your interests. Social media should be a discovery platform, right? You want to be discovering new things. And therefore, when Facebook changed their algorithm to be content-based and reels-based, reels being vertical videos that show up like this on your phone, not like this, it redefined all of what we're doing on social media. We now have platforms that are determining what we see based on what we watch, like, and consume. And guess what? What do we do about that? We enjoy it. It is a very, very good thing because they know the algorithm. I don't say they because it's an it. It knows where you live, what you like to watch, and what you enjoy doing on social media. And guess what? It's going to show you more of that content. So let's say we've got Susie over here, and Susie clearly on social media follows a lot of Broadway shows. She watches a lot of Glee. She's probably about 30 years old and loves to look at those modern musicals and goes to New York a couple times a year because the app knows that. But they don't really follow your theater yet. They may not really even know that you're nearby. Well, guess what? Your content will hit Susie because the algorithm knows what she likes and says, Susie is going to love the Matchbox Theater's content. I'm going to show her the video they just posted. And now you've got new eyeballs. When your content is good, new eyeballs mean a potential new sale, a potential new engagement to your content. And that's the brass ring, right? That's what we're all trying to get is new eyeballs to make sure that they understand what you do and why you do it. If, big old if, I even made the word glow. If you have a digital content strategy and are making the right content in this new era, that's what we're going to talk about next. By the way, before we move on, if you have a question, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I will not end this live marketing mastery until I've answered all the questions. So if you have a question, please feel free to leave it in the comments, and I promise I will get to you. Okay. So if you have a content strategy, right? I can't tell you how many theaters I work with who don't have any plan. No strategy. They think they know what to post kind of a couple weeks before a show opens. They kind of know what to do on opening night and through the run. And then they post something on closing night. They think they know what to do. But social media is not 2 weeks long, right? Social media doesn't exist for just 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Social media is 24/7, 365 days a year. We open our email every day, sometimes 4 to 5 times a day. Email is every day, 24/7, 365 days a year. Our website, there's a reason why we don't turn off websites. They're up and available 24/7, 365 days a year. This is why we use direct mail. Feeling that postcard arrive in the mail and holding it up and connecting with the artwork, connecting with the persuasive copy that you've written that gets them excited, that gets the dopamine going, matters today. Now, I want to make sure that you and I are on the same page about how we define success. Right? Success to me always means results. This is where me coming from a for-profit marketing world where I was making $10 million for Procter & Gamble and working on multi-million-dollar video programs with Procter & Gamble or creating content solutions for Disney, right? I'm always about the results. Like, what are we driving? What conversions are we making? What sales are we making? And I bring that to how I think about theater marketing. The success means ticket sales. Duh. Number one, audience growth online, engagement growth. Let me define engagement growth for you. Engagement growth means that more people are seeing, liking, sharing, or commenting, or all four, on your social media. They are hitting reply and answering your emails. They are leaving a comment on your website, if you allow that on your blog. You are growing awareness of your theater in your community. Now remember, marketing is a circular experience. I consider it a flywheel, right? So at the top of the flywheel, we always have to be bringing in new. New moves through the flywheel, and we want to eventually convert them to a ticket buyer and then get them to be a return ticket buyer. It's a constant cycle. We want to be renewing and re-engaging. And growth happens when more people are aware of our organization and what productions we're doing. And then there is, yes, the content jungle. It's a jungle. It really is. And this, I know, this slide, people have told me, I've been using this slide for about 7 or 8 months now, and could not be more true. Very often, when we are trying to make content without a strategy, to make content without a plan, to make content without the skills we need, this is what it feels like. It feels like a fire hose of expectations and of work coming at us. And it's overwhelming, right? Making content for our productions can feel overwhelming if we don't have a plan in place. And it's been true for a decade. This has not changed. Maybe I dare say 15 years. Great creative means success on social media, right? It means success on every platform, if you ask me, right? It means success in the great content means success in your brochure that you send out for your season subscriptions, right? Back to content for a minute. This is Mark Zuckerberg in October talking about the success of Reels. Reels is vertical video. It's what you do for TikTok. It's what you do for Instagram and Facebook now. There were more than 140 billion Reels plays across Facebook and Instagram each day. Now, this is back in October. 50% increase from 6 months ago. Is your theater? Do you have a Reels strategy? How are you executing and implementing Reels? Right? Let's talk about what's working on social media. Since we're talking about Reels, we know that vertical video and Reels are working very well. We know because more people are seeing them, right? Short form video under 30 seconds and under. Live streaming and long form video. What's funny about video and social media is that if it's under 30 seconds, it does really well. If it's over 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, it does really well. There's this really weird graveyard of that 1-2 minute time where people are trained to leave. They're not trained to watch the whole thing. And if you're making long form video, so your video is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes long, you actually get better results. So isn't that a great thing to know when you're thinking about the content you're going to make? And yes, live streaming still does exceedingly well. Carousel creative. You know what carousels are? It's where the creative, you swipe your finger and you see multiple different creative images, ideally on Instagram, but you can also use video carousels on Facebook. Photos and photo dumps. That's where you are just putting a bunch of photos on Facebook from your production. Text posts. That's just taking a basic, simple statement and putting it on Facebook. Our show opens today. Wish us luck. Right? And then lastly, are sharing or text posts, right? The bottom performer in social media is a share. So ironically, when you go to, let's say your production's being sponsored by True Green. You're doing Little Shop of Horrors, and your sponsor is True Green. Get it? True Green, somewhere that's green. Okay, I digress. If you take a post that True Green posts and says, we're so excited, we're sponsoring Little Shop of Horrors at Music Box Theater. If you see this post, you get 10% off with this code. If you share that post to your theater's Facebook page, it will get the least amount of reach. And apologies for the dog. You'll get the least amount of reach. So that's your least your least successful type of social media post. Now, here's unfortunately what I see from a lot of theaters. And believe me, I follow a lot of them on social media. Oh my. Photos, just photo. Then photo dumps, which are a bunch of photos. Like I said, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 photos just dumped online. Video, I do see video. Then I see more photos. Then I see some shares, right? And then lastly, I see reels and vertical video. So as you can see, this is a little bit upside down, isn't it? I'm just curious if your theater, let me know in the comments if you're watching this on replay or if you're watching it live. Let me know if you've tried a reel yet. Are you doing vertical video? I'd love to know. The solution is to mix it up. The algorithm demands everything, whether it's 1 or 6, whether it's 2 and 7. It wants to see you do a little bit of everything, because that way the algorithm learns what your customers prefer. That was one of the biggest ahas that I had at a workshop a couple months ago. Yes, it's true. The algorithm knows what you purchase from. If you're a person that purchases from static images, you're going to get more static images in a post that asks you to buy something. If you're a person that buys things once they watch a video, you're going to get more video in your feed. If you're somebody that responds to just simple text on a social media post, you're going to get more of that. So here's the thing. You have to mix it up because you've got all different types of people that you want to come to your show. And they react differently on social media. So it's important to remember that. Then there is the 70-30 rule. And this is hands down the hardest part of content marketing for theater organizations. The 70-30 rule exists because email and social media, well, mostly social media, they do not want you constantly asking your viewers to leave the platform. They do not want you constantly putting links in your copy, taking them to your ticket page. If the only thing you're posting is for 2 or 3 weeks that our tickets are on sale right now, your content marketing will suffer. The 70-30 rule is there. It exists to help you as a guideline. 30% of your content should be sales driving. Tickets on sale now. Tickets for this weekend, right? 70% of it needs to be engagement content. And that's the part that makes people go, ah, right? How on earth can I do that, right? How can I get to that 70-30 place and remain sane, right? How do we get there? And that's the journey that we take in Theater Marketing Lab, right? There are 6 questions you need to always ask before starting content creation. And I know this is a part where a lot of you are going to grab a pen because there really are 6 things that I teach that I'm giving you today. No gates. The 6 questions I always start with before I start making a piece of content. Well, number 1, what's the message? What do I want to communicate? What am I trying to communicate, right? So what's the message? Tickets on sale now. What am I trying to communicate? That they weren't on sale yesterday, but they're on sale now. The box office is open. What response or emotion am I trying to elicit from my audience? Number 3 is so important. If you aren't centered in the emotion you want your customers to feel, your social media won't do as well. People don't like facts. Sure, they might want to know what the date of the show is and what time it starts, but they don't want facts. They want their dopamine hit. They want to know, they want to connect emotionally to what you're doing. Whether you're putting a new page on your website, or you're writing the copy for the back of your postcard, or you're writing brochure copy, connecting to the emotion is what's going to help them connect to you. Based on what I know about my target audience, this is number 4, what aspects of this post or piece of content do I think will resonate with them? Right? Knowing who our target audience is crucial, right? Every production should have a primary audience and a secondary audience, because no matter how people try to talk me out of this, not everyone is your audience. Everyone is not your audience. And I see a lot of leadership get stuck in this. A lot, where they're like, well, I don't get it. I mean, everybody should want to come see my shows. Everyone should want to see our shows. They're amazing. I don't understand. Like, why isn't everybody know about our theater? Why isn't everyone here? Because your show is not aligning with the target audience. The show you're doing is not for everyone, right? It's for a target audience, and your marketing should be done to reflect who your target audience is. What will resonate with them? Humor, sarcasm, beautiful pictures. What is that thing? Before I start making stuff, I got to figure out what's going to resonate with them, right? If I were in their shoes, would I be moved to respond if there's a call to action? Would what I just read or what I just saw with my eyes, am I moved enough to inquire a lot more? Am I moved enough to make a mental note? Oh, Music Box Theater is doing Little Shop of Horrors. Great, moving on. Because guess what? It can take anywhere from 8 to 30 messages before someone takes action. It may take seeing your theater 10 times before they take action. That's why frequency and volume of content is so important. Not everybody sees every email you send. Not everybody is visiting your website every day. And not everybody is seeing what you post on social media. As a matter of fact, only between 3 and 8% of the people that follow your page are seeing it. That's why Reels are so important, right? We're broadening our audience. Volume and frequency are so important to continue to feed the algorithm, right? Is all of this starting to make sense? And then lastly, can I see the image on a phone? This is one of the hardest things to get a lot of theaters to understand. I think they understand it, but it's hard to actually activate. Yes, you've got this picture of this gorgeous cast from Little Shop of Horrors. Everybody's in this picture. It's just fantastic. The director's thrilled with the stories that he's made on stage, and everybody's costumes are all perfectly ironed, and the lighting is perfect. And you've got this picture with all of these people in it, and they think this is going to be the very best post on social media. Well, guess what? If I pick up my phone and I look at that post, I will scroll on by, because guess what? I can't register anything. The faces of the people in the cast are the size of an eraser head. I can't connect as a human being with another human being when their face is the size of an eraser. I just keep on scrolling and go, oh yeah, maybe that's interesting. How different would it be if that picture were cut up into 6 or 7 different pictures, and I had the actress playing Audrey front and center in my feed? How different? What human emotion, what connection am I going to get when I see that, instead of a big picture of a bunch of people standing on stage? Okay, so can I see the image? Can I connect to it emotionally on a phone? Because that's where the majority of things happen now. I check out your website. I check out I read my email here. I go to my social media here. And you know what the magic word is? The magic word's watch, right? Everybody wants to be watching things. That's why YouTube and TikTok are so successful. They're entertainment platforms. They're there to grow awareness and engagement with our ideal customers, with our audience. That's what Facebook and Instagram are trying so desperately to do. They want you to watch, right? They want you to not watch Netflix, but watch content on social media. When you put a video link in your emails, I want you to check out the clicks. More people click on a video link than they click on a buy now link. Video is interesting. People want to watch it. That's the magic word. Now, let's go back to the fire hose. Remember? Content. Oh my God, video is so hard. It's just not true anymore. It's not. This little magical thing right here takes freaking good video. It's amazing. Later, I'm going to give you some tools and some platforms that help you make it easier. But right now, I'm going to talk about two different types of video content, right? You've got video content that can live anywhere in the digital ecosphere, and it can be high quality, or it can be what I call easy peasy. High quality is the stuff you make that you really want to help drive ticket sales. It could be a trailer. It could be a promotion. It could be a production promo. That's where you're getting a much higher quality of a video. Easy peasy is the stuff that feeds the 70%. The easy videos are the stuff that you shouldn't be thinking a lot about. You can just engage, right? You're bringing content to a platform that gives the opportunity to engage with your theater. So let's talk about easy peasy and high quality, right? A best practice. Now, this is a best practice. This is what my theaters do that I consult with, that I've rolled up my sleeves literally, and I work with. High quality content. I would say that the theaters that are part of Sell the Show, my program, my online program, they're getting close to this. So it's very exciting. The best practice is to try to have 3 pieces of high quality video content per production. That might sound overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be, right? If you can get to 3 pieces of video content, you're going to be right in the sweet spot of what the platforms want from you. Here's an example.
Captain's log.
I hope you can hear this.
Future generations. Whoever finds this, I hope it finds you well. If I had known last night what I would dream, I would have put on a suit. Just dreamt of a captive African, name unknown. One among a mass of tight, packed bodies, swaying with the tide of the Atlantic. He has my father's face. I speak to him. I am now Charles III. What is your name? He springs into the deep as I rush to the ship's edge to give chase. The cool air blows my eyes awake and I'm here.
That was a promo reel from Face Off Theater Company, one of my clients, in partnership with Western Michigan University. Now you could see as a reel format and as a story. I hope you saw the journey you take as a viewer to understand visually what the show is about and also the storyline, right? So after seeing that, of course, ticket sales increased. That video alone, I believe, was viewed almost 13,000 times. So you can get an idea of how impactful the storytelling platform can be and how powerful it can be for video, right?
Oh, God, I hate Shakespeare. That's right, I said it.
No.
I do, I hate Shakespeare.
Why?
I just don't get it how a mediocre actor from a measly little town is suddenly the brightest jewel in England's royal crown.
2 brothers set out to write the world's first musical with a hilarious mashup of 16th century Shakespeare and 21st century Broadway in Something Rotten. The hilarious show that Time Out New York called the funniest musical comedy in at least 400 years.
That was an example from Grand Rapids Civic Theater in Michigan, and they did a production of Something Rotten, and that was their 30-second spot. So that was short form video, right? That's that under 30 seconds that helped tell the story, but also introduce you to the characters. So that's an incredible opportunity and a great job with high touch, high quality video. Yes, there was a video crew. Yes, there was an editor. There was a creative director. All those places and people were in place to create a piece of content like that. And I dare say I've seen a lot of you doing something very similar, and good for you if you are. Awesome. So when it comes to easy peasy content, all right, take a breath. Best practice is to be posting or creating 5 pieces of easy peasy content in a story or a message a week. And when I say story, I mean you've got something to tell your audience, right? There's a message you want to deliver them. Whether it's on your website, it's in your email, it's in your social media. Again, your content you can make one piece of content and it can go in multiple places, depending on where your customers are. And this easy peasy content does not have to be complicated, right? It can be that simple video. I'm going to try to play you a couple. Easy peasy content achieves 3 things. It's authentic, right? It's not saccharine, or that's maybe not the right word, but it's not fake, right? It's authentic to what you're doing. It has more of a user-generated style. So if you looked at the style of Grand Rapids Civic's awesome 30-second spot for Something Rotten, that was very professional. That was your high-quality video. Easy peasy content has a much more user-generated style. And it also tends to be trend-centric, which means that it is something that is popular on the platform and you want to replicate it. Now, I'm not sure this is going to show because this might take me to Instagram. Let's see if it works. Oh, shoot. Do you guys see that? Oh, no, you don't. Okay. Well, I will make sure. I will make sure that those are clickable links when you guys have access to this. But they were just, they're just showing you trends on social media that they take and they reuse. That's very easy to put together. Awesome. Here's another example of easy peasy.
Forget your big parades. It means the crowds will not be cheering, so despite what you've been hearing, you can lay down your spade. It means my mother can't stop crying. My rabbi's eulogy can't wait. It means the Dorsey can stop weeping, and my cousin can't stop dreaming of his portion of my estate. It means, no, this isn't over. No, the date's not set. No, I won't wake up tomorrow drowning in my sweat. It means I'm not the greatest partner any man can get. It means I'll never, ever, ever underestimate that woman, 'cause this is not over yet.
So you get the idea. Let me talk about this for just a minute. Oh, I hope you guys saw that. Did you see that? Oh, good. You saw it. Great. This is a phone in the rehearsal room, taping Ben Platt singing one of the most popular songs in Parade, just a piano, Jason Robert Brown playing. This video blew up the internet. Yeah, sure, it's Ben Platt, but that's not my point. My point is, this is a video of a rehearsal, right? It's live. It was not perfect. Jason Robert Brown messed up several of the runs, and he had to post on social media later that he knew he made mistakes and he's going to fix them the next time. It was hysterical. And Ben wasn't perfect. He was still in rehearsal mode, right? But what did we get? We got a piece of easy peasy content that absolutely engaged the audience in what was happening, because we are seeing something that people that enjoy the theater love. They love to see a little bit of the magic. And that's what behind the scenes content achieves. Behind the scenes content is easy peasy. It gives you that little taste, that little peek into how things get made. We all want to know how things get made, right? We want to know, how did that magic happen, right? Parade did the perfect example, because they took this song, and then the very next piece of content they produced was a full music video version of the same song, this time with Michaela Diamond. So you get an idea of how a piece of content can have a storyline of its own and bring great joy and ticket sales to your show when it's very simple to create. Love, love, love. And I saw Parade. It's amazing. It's so good. Okay. Static and animated. This is a different type of content. And I'm excited about this part because I'm going to show you guys some really cool stuff that's being made for theaters around the country. First of all, we have Castle Craig Players. Love them in Connecticut. I'm in love with their campaign for Dream On, the Marvelous Wondrettes Dream On. They took the characters and they made them into cartoons. These cartoon icons lived all over their media, right? It was on their website. It was on their postcards that were mailed. It's just, the colors are bright. It's abruptive. This is called scroll slowing content, right? This color pops and it slows you down, right? You don't see cartoons along with the theater very often, right? How fun is that, right? When they were doing messaging in their social media, they had a simple message, was that 2 weeks left to see the show. And they gave you a grid of what was going on right now. Sold out shows. When you show that on your creative, FOMO, check. It's a shareable post, so it's got some word of mouth to it. It's very vibrant, and it helps me understand which shows are available. And the biggest bonus of all, a show added. Now remember, the mindset of a customer, when they see that 3 shows are sold out and that you've just added a show, their brain goes, okay, 1, it must be good. Those all things lead to a good production. And I better hurry because 3 of the dates are sold out and 1 is almost gone. Right? And by doing this in your creative, it's much more thumb stopping than it would be if you just wrote it in the text. So bravo to the team at Castle Craig Players and to Ian for great work on that campaign. Yay, Theatre Marketing Lab. Right? So here's the situation. We need a reel. The cast is busy. They're in rehearsals. They're not ready to be on camera, but we've got photos of the cast members that we took in a photo shoot. And we had the costume renderings from the costume designer. We put those together into a reel. It didn't require work by anyone in the cast because we had all those assets, and we were able to build multiple reels based on this concept. So easy peasy can also mean I've already got all the stuff over here. I just need to put it together in Canva, or I just need to put it together and give it to the person that's making my content for me. Because I'll tell you, if you're here with me, you're most likely a theater that is responsible for making your own content. If you're a theater with $3 million budgets and 3 agencies and a creative agency and a media agency. You've got all that handled in a very different model. I'm talking to you, a theater that doesn't have a $4 million, $10 million budget, right? I'm talking about the theaters that have to make this stuff ourselves, right? That 70-30 balance, it's not going anywhere but where you sit, right? Or where your team sits, where your marketing manager sits, your marketing volunteer, right? I know a lot of you have volunteers that come in and help you with your marketing. So this is a great way and a great solution to get more content made. This is a GIF that's an app-based creative product. I took a video of the lead character in this play, The Great Leap. I took a video and a couple pictures from the production. I'll show it to you again. And I created this short video. The title of the show, the characters, the dates, the name of the theater. This was hands down the most successful piece of content created for this production. I certainly didn't expect that at all. I did not expect that this reel was going to be the most popular thing that we saw. It was done with an app called Scroll, SCRL. Hi, Rory. I know, honey, I can't get to you right now. I know. Scroll app is great. Download it on the App Store and start using it for your reels. It's a great solution for your theaters. This was a GIF, an app-based post that was done using Canva. And it was basically rolling into the final weekend of sold out shows, right? And pictures from the show. This was made in Canva in about 3 minutes. And, oops, just kidding. Oh, what did I do? Hold on. I made it in like 3 minutes using Canva, right? And it had 87 shares, 44 comments. Its reach was crazy, 17,095 at Let's Check across all platforms, mind you, feeds, reels, everywhere it went. That's pretty crazy, right? All it is a video of the characters all coming to life on the image. This is 70%. Nobody's asking you to buy anything. There's no ticket link. I'm just making a statement. I'm engaging people in the excitement of how we're rolling into the final weekend. And guess what? 17,000 more people now know about this theater and about this show, right? That's how 70% works. The right timing, the right content, the right LOE. LOE is a common marketing term called level of effort. How much level of effort will this take me, right? We want just the right timing, just the right content, and the right amount of LOE for the person, the human being that's making this, and the team. Now, yes, this is what a multi-million-dollar organization's content team probably looks like. There's a creative director, production manager, graphic designer, photographer, video editor, social media content creator, social media activators, an analyst, right? There's somebody in each of those roles. Okay, but what's the reality? Sometimes it's just you, right? And if you're lucky, a couple people to help, right? Sometimes it's just you responsible for 70-30. It's a lot, but it's achievable when you've got the right content strategy, the right plan, when you're planning, period, right? I always like to say minimum viable. What's the minimum viable work I can do to be successful? One thing I say is to content plan right along with production planning. So right when production planning starts, so does the content plan, asking cast members to be content generators, find the budget to make a professional video and have it edited. Find the budget to do that. get interns, students, volunteers to help you activate your marketing. Here's a great resource for you. If you don't yet use a marketing platform like Monday.com, Asana, Basecamp, those are all different production marketing platforms where you can keep yourself organized. I'm also offering you today a free template. Go grab it. It's a spreadsheet that will help you plan your content for your shows. If you don't have the ability to get something like Monday.com, this is a great resource for you to help plan out your content. Organic social media. Organic social media is a very simple term for the things that you post on your feed that aren't supported with ad dollars. Okay? That's the content that's usually seen between 3 and 8, maybe 10% of your audiences, unless it gets shared, liked, and commented on in quick succession, right? Remember, let's go to the algorithm. The algorithm is seeing how many people react. Do they think it's a good piece of creative? When it is, it says, oh, gee, Music Box Theater made a great piece of creative. I'm going to send it to more people now. Oh, look, those people liked it too. I'm going to send it to another 200 people. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's really moving now. Okay, here's another 500. That's how the algorithm works on your organic social media. Now, here's the thing. The gasoline, being the content you're making, it goes into the car, but your car does not go from 0 to 100 miles an hour in a minute. Think of your content like a car. As you push on the gas, it's going to go faster and faster and faster. That's why it's so important to be creating consistent content in your email, refreshing your website, and in your social media to make sure that there's enough gasoline in the tank. Because if you're going dark for several weeks or months, you have to start all over again, right? You go back to 0. As your content improves and increases, you start getting more eyeballs. If there's nothing you remember today, this is what I want you to take away. Spend as much time engaging as you do posting. Social media is a circular experience. You need to be going on social media and as your theater, on behalf of your theater, and activating and talking and replying and liking things. It's very important. You want to be online. You want to try to be online right after you post something, because if people start writing you want to write them back, right? I like to spend 10 minutes 2 times a day going in and just checking and liking and commenting as the theater. If your cast or your crew posts about a rehearsal or something that's going on, like it, comment on it. Keep that activity going. The algorithm gets the dopamine, and this is the gasoline, right? You acting as your theater online and making it a circular experience is gasoline. So remember, mix it up. You want to have lots of different types of content. You want to make sure that you're doing Facebook events. Yes, you still need to be adding them. Facebook wants you to do it, and when you do it, they reward you. Empower your cast and crew to provide gasoline. Give them the assets. Give them the ability to reach their followers, the people they email. Give them the right resources to do that. Think about your copywriting. This isn't a copywriting mastery, but this is just some example of all the different places you can find copy, right? Licensing company pages, write your own. Use the questionnaires completed by a production team. Put the ticket link in the caption and in the comments. That's a little tip there. Mix it up. One time put it one place, and the next time put it in another. Make your ticket links easy. Don't make them like 65 or 70 characters long. Using Copy AI or Chat GPT. I will be diving into this quite a bit over the summer and teaching you in a moment how I'm using it. So here are some super ninja marketing tips. These are the DIY tools that I love using for social media, Canva, obviously. This is DIY, right? As most of you are. You got to go in and make content at some point, right? Lensa, TuneMe, Animator, Photolab, Facetune, Giphy, CapCut, VideoLeap, RetroFilm, Scroll. All of these apps are wonderful solutions for you to make easy peasy and quick content. Remember to bulk create and schedule. This is a huge tip. I'm like shouting from the rooftops about how we need to bulk create. I've got a solution for that, right? How to schedule your content, how to bulk create it all at once so that we're not waking up every morning going, oh my God, what am I going to post today? Oh, geez, the show opens in 3 weeks. What on earth am I going to say, right? When it comes to AI, I am decidedly a Gemini. Yes, I'm a Gemini, but I'm also a Gemini about this topic. Half of me is a marketer, and I'm absolutely loving how much time it saves me, how much insight and better I can get and faster I can get at marketing. But the other half of me is an artist, and I'm obviously concerned as an artist, as writers, as musicians, as creators. How is AI going to impact that? I can't solve it, Julie, a single person, but what I can do is use it responsibly. What I can do is use it for good. And what I can use is use it the right way. Example, some of you may have seen this one, but it's worth repeating. This is Copy AI, a great platform for writing advertising copy and social media copy. I typed into the AI, buy tickets to our production of Annie. Here's a sneak peek at our talented star, Jessie Smith. Kind of boring, right? It sent me back option 1. You'll have to check out our December production of Annie. But in the meantime, you can check out our talented star, Jessie Smith. Emoji, emoji, emoji. When you start a post with the word you, people immediately slow down because we're all egocentric. When you see the word you, you're like, what? I need to do something? I can check something out. Like the word you changes everything. Don't be talking about we. We as a theater are so excited. We are so excited about our show. We can't wait to show you our new video. We. Bleh. You will not believe this video. You are going to love. You need to check out. The third time, perfection. Our talented star, Jessie Smith, lights up the stage as she performs tomorrow from Annie. Broadway, here she comes. Oh, and tickets are selling fast. Emoji, emoji. All those circled words, those are words that the algorithm grabs and says, this is a post about theater, about talent, about stage, performing, selling it, Broadway. They're going to go out and find people that resonate with those words. Make sense? Here's another example from ChatGPT. I was really tired and I needed to get a post out, or I needed to help the team write a post about Pinkalicious. It was basically an ad. I wrote into ChatGPT, write social media copy to get moms to buy tickets to Pinkalicious, a live theatrical event. It came back with, attention, moms. Look at all the mom faces, all different types of moms. Looking for a fun and memorable experience for you and your little ones? Look no further. Pinkalicious musical is coming to town. Yada, yada, yada. How wonderful is that? This theatrical live event is perfect for kids of all ages and will leave them with big smiles and lasting memories. Don't miss the magical experience. Buy your tickets now and treat your family to an unforgettable day out. Wonderful. Did very well. Let me show you another example of how quickly ChatGPT can work for a theater. This is just a quick spreadsheet, a CSV file of some social copy, right? On each line is a piece of copy that I want to go on social media. I took this spreadsheet using Canva, and within 20 minutes, I had this. 9 posts about Theater Marketing Lab. 9 posts in 20 minutes. I made 9 reels in 20 minutes using ChatGPT and Canva AI. I know, right? So when we think about all the content that we've learned about today, and we think about all the ways, and if you felt overwhelmed when you saw that 70-30, or you feel overwhelmed because you don't have a plan. Like, how am I going to sell this next show? Right? I have an incredible solution, and I've worked really hard to find the right way to position this. And I have to give a shout out to my mentor and business coach, Molly Mahoney, because she really helped me bring this to life. Starting in July, I'm going to start up a content club. It's really straightforward, y'all. For 2.5 hours, you're going to be on Zoom with me. And I promise you, in that 2.5 hours, we're going to make a month's worth of content for your theater. Social media, email, primarily. Yes, we'll probably talk about postcard design or website design, primarily thinking about social and email in 2.5 hours each month. We're going to make content together. It's going to be boom, boom, boom. You're going to learn this tactic. Yeah? Sound good? Imagine that's 9 posts for rent because you're doing rent this month, right? 20 minutes. So yes, it's coming in July. Like I said, it's a really straightforward program. For 30 minutes each month, I'm going to teach a down and dirty lesson, right? I'm going to be keeping you updated on what's working, what's not. 30 minutes in and out. Learn something, apply it, make it work. Each month for 2.5 hours, we're going to have that live session. We're going to learn by doing. We're going to learn by doing. I'm going to help you do it, right? We're going to use the latest tools, Canva, ChatGPT, Video AI, all of it. We're going to learn how to use it responsibly. We're going to learn how to use it responsibly and ethically for our marketing. Okay? The Content Club group on Facebook. We're going to have a Facebook group because a month for 2.5 hours a month, that's great. But what if you've got questions in between? Or what if you need to show something? There's going to be a group for you to do that. Okay? Focused only on marketing content. Just the content. Right? I'm so excited, right? So if you're interested at this point right now, I invite you to go ahead and visit this URL, theatremarketing.online/application. And you can answer a few questions for me, and then we will get back to you. If I don't get back to you, Lucy will get back to you, or Ren will get back to you. One of the three of us will get back to you on that. Let me just show you that little that banner so you've got this. Okay, good. I'll put that at the bottom. So that's the URL. If you're interested in learning more, I'm going to be looking at the theaters to invite to join. And that's the URL, theatremarketing.online/application. Where the goal is to start on the 14th of July. So fill out the application and you'll get a better idea of whether or not this is going to be right for you. Because I think it will be. If you're watching me or you've followed me for the last 5 years, then you probably know that you probably need this, right? Affordably and effectively, I may add, right? Awesome. Are you going to fill out the form? Just fill it out and we'll talk. Okay, I promise. I want to hear more about your theater. If you're a Sell the Show member, if you're in the Sell the Show program in 2023, fill out the form anyway. But I have a new information for you on that. So go ahead and fill out the form if you're interested. Awesome. And as I promised, free things. You've got the content planning worksheet, which you got earlier. But also, I'm so excited to bring you my latest guide. It's called Behind the Curtain, Crafting Authentic Stories for Your Theater's Marketing. Unlock the magic of engaging content for your next production, plus tips and best practices for creating content that sells tickets. So this guide is yours for free. Yes, go take it. It has over 100 content ideas to spur your imagination and your ideation on what you could do for your productions. Like I said, it's got tips and best practices to give you the fuel, to give you the gasoline that your marketing needs. So it's time to shine brighter than a Tony Award and conquer the digital stage with your theater's content. go to theatremarketing.online/content guide. That last line, it's time to shine brighter than a Tony Award and conquer the digital stage with your theater's content, was written by ChatGPT. And I like it. I think it's really cute. I don't know about you, but I like it. You know me, I'm always looking to reference shows and use theater and weave theater into what I write. So thank you, ChatGPT, for that third paragraph. Theatremarketing.online/content guide. Go ahead and go over and fill that out, and you will get the guide. Theater Marketing Online, theatremarketing.online content guide. Awesome. Ta-da! I know now you know what to do, right? You've gotten all your content challenges overcome, right? You've overcome all of them with this masterclass. And so I hope that, what I like to do in Marketing Mastery is help you understand what to do and why you're doing it. But I can't possibly teach you how to do it in the time I have for our Marketing Mastery Masterclasses, or for the monthly newsletter that I send out, or for the podcasts that I record. I can't possibly teach you how to do it because it's a roll your sleeves up thing, right? In order to learn how to do these things, I really encourage you to fill out the application for the Content Club that's starting in July. I would love to welcome millions of members, but the truth is I want to be very, very cognizant of giving all of you the time you need to make the very best creative possible. So I will not be able to open this to everyone. That's why the application is so important. I want everyone in, so the sooner you fill it out, the sooner we can figure out what capacity we can have, and also what guests we're going to need. I'm sure Paul Stroley will be joining me. Paul is the trailer maestro. He is amazing at making video trailers. He'll be joining us, I'm sure. I'm really looking forward to having some graphic designers and some video editors. I'm hoping Corinne will join us, and Corinne's going to help us with making reels with CapCut, the platform CapCut. She's a master. She did the Downtrell reel that you saw earlier. So lots of people will be joining me to make sure that your theater is making the very best possible content that helps you sell tickets and grow your audience's loyalty and grow their engagement. Yay! All right, I'm going to go check for questions. I don't know. Oh, we've got lots of comments here. Yay! Okay, well, all righty. Let's go to the top. Hi, Jake. Hi, Janine. Stephen, hello. Hi, James. Okay. Hi, Brian. Brian Spain, selling out all your shows, dude. Louie, hi. Great. Absolutely. This will live on all the social platforms, so you can come back to it anytime. If you had to leave, I see a lot of you did. And then also these links will be live forever. So, well, not forever, but for at least the next 6 to 8 weeks. So make sure that you check those out. Susan Cole, a vertical video. I held up my phone, so I hope you understand this is a vertical video. It plays like this. It doesn't play like this, right? James, you had the same question. So a vertical video you watch without having to turn your phone. And a horizontal video is like your traditional video, like you'd watch on, that where your phone has to turn this way to watch it. Cool. Janine, your last simple reel got over 5,000 views. Oh my God, that's amazing. That is phenomenal. Think about those 5,000 people. Okay, so let's say let's say that 1,000 of them watched it twice. So you got, imagine those 4,000 people that saw the name of your theater. Can't think of anything more powerful, right? Isn't awareness everything? That you exist, that you're back, that you're producing theater after what was the biggest challenge to our industry ever? Like ever? Amazing. Congratulations, Ginny. And that's amazing. Brian, thanks for answering that for me. A theater in Eugene, Oregon is doing something rotten. Told me that the most important piece of marketing they do is the personal message to someone they know. Julie, do you agree? Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's part of the job of the cast is to get them to send personal messages. That's a big part of what we do in Sell the Show. The Sell the Show program, we talk a lot about how to actually do that. There are a lot of different techniques and tactics to that type of content development and execution. So that's a big part of Sell the Show. James, don't worry. You can go to any of these links to download either the content guide. You can go to theatremarketing.online/content guide to get to the page to download that. And then to apply for the content club, you just go to theatremarketing.online/application. Okay, I think that was it for the questions. I want to thank you all for being here. Lucy and Ren and I will, of course, be returning to the comments over the course of the next couple of days. If you have a question and you're writing this, you're watching this on replay, please leave your question. We will come back and I will answer it. I want to make sure that any questions you have with regards to the content marketing tips and best practices that you learned today, or any questions about the content guide that I'm giving you today for free, or if you have any questions about the application for the Theater Marketing Content Club, please reach out to me. I love DMs. I live in my DMs on Instagram. I live on my DMs in Facebook. So feel free to reach me at any time on any of those platforms. That's what I love doing at night when I'm chilling out with my kiddos watching movies, as I'm answering people's direct messages, and I love it. All right. Take care of everybody. Keep theater moving forward. Are you as excited about the Wicked movie as I am? And I guess that's it for today. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.